Y'all, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my makeup with all products that are deemed as waterproof. I feel like today would be a good day to just put all the stuff on my face, see how it goes. A lot of these products, all of these products I have tested out already, but I just thought it'd be cool to kind of put them collectively into one video. That way you guys can see how they apply, you can get my thoughts on them. So kind of like a waterproof wear test review, if you will. So that way you guys can see everything on my face, hear my thoughts, and see if these things are really waterproof. Now, I will not be dipping my face in a bowl of water or going swimming. So if that is what you're looking for from this video as far as waterproof products go, you will not see that. Whenever I go swimming or I'm at the beach, I don't wear a full face. I do mascara, brows, and some highlighter. That's it. That's all. The mascara and the brow product that I use, I know for sure I can swim in them, but other than that, I don't do a full face. But today is a perfect day to test all this stuff, because when I think of something as being waterproof, to me that lets me know, okay, this is going to be sweat proof. Y'all know I'm an oily girl, I work at the salon, it's hot, I sweat easily, so if something's waterproof, I typically gravitate to it for those specific reasons. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull you guys in closer. Everything that I have here is waterproof with the exception of eyeshadow and blush. I probably won't even put those things in the video just simply because they're not waterproof. Let's get into it. For foundation, we're going to go in with the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Foundation. My shade is an NC50. I feel like this is a touch too dark for me right now at the moment. I'm NC50 in this. Underneath it they had NC45, which was too light, and if I went NW it would have been too warm. So I'm going to be using this shade in NC50. I love this foundation. It is so pretty. And I'm going to be doing a light coverage. This isn't going to be like a full-on like cake face beat, just very simple, light, how I would typically do my makeup on a day-to-day basis for work. And being that this is a waterproof foundation, I typically wouldn't recommend using a damp sponge, because I have just found that whenever you use a damp sponge with any kind of foundation that is waterproof, it doesn't perform that well. However, this one does just fine. I feel like it gives me just the right amount of coverage that I want. It shears it down just a touch, but if you do want a little bit more of a full-on coverage, I would recommend using like a flat foundation brush and then blending out with a dry blender. And I think this specific foundation works with a damp beauty sponge pretty good, just simply because of the consistency of it. It is a little bit of a thicker consistency, but it works out really well. I have worn this foundation in hot heat July outdoor concerts. This foundation is also in my video where I talk about my top 3 foundations for the summer. So if you want to see what the other 2 are, make sure you check that out as well. I'll have a card above and link it down below for you guys as well. And this is good enough coverage for me. So foundations on. Next up, we're going to go in with concealer, and we're going to be using the Urban Decay All Nigher Concealer. I bought my most recent new one in the shade Dark Warm, but because this foundation I feel like is a touch too dark for me right now, I'm going to go in with Dark Golden. And this concealer, if you guys are familiar with the All Nighter from Urban Decay, it is budge proof, sweat proof, crease proof. I don't recommend this concealer if you are dry under eyes. If you got dry under eyes, this will not be a good look on you. However, if you are someone who is oily, check this concealer out. And a little bit goes a long way. I like to press it on the inner corner of my eye first and then just blend it out, and it gives just beautiful coverage. The pigmentation on this is insane. This is definitely one of my favorite concealers. Maybe I need to do a video on my top concealers. I feel like I've done one before, but maybe it's time to do an updated version. but I would 100% recommend using a damp sponge and work fast. This isn't one of those concealers where you can put it all over your face and then let it sit for a moment and blend it out. As soon as you put this on, blend it out. However, it is much easier than the Beauty Bakery. It's not like that. Like if it sits for a couple of seconds, you'll be okay, but I like to do one eye at a time. I do one eye at a time anyway when I put on my concealer. So concealer on. Next up, I am going to set up under my eyes just a little bit with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. This is not waterproof. This is just what I use when I wear this concealer because it's light. Also, if you're someone who, if you are maybe on the normal side, or if you're adventurous and you're dry and you use this, you won't need to set it. Next up, this is probably the #1 thing I've been most excited to share with you guys. So this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. I've been testing it out. I mentioned it briefly on my Instagram stories. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do, because especially on my stories in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, I might show you what I'm using, what products I'm into at the moment, what my makeup looks like for that day. So make sure you check me out on Instagram. But I was nervous about this because it says online that it is translucent. And I was like, great, if it's translucent, it's going to be stark white and it's not going to be translucent. Well, it's not. It's kind of got more, it's got like a little bit of a beigier undertone, and I've been testing it out and I was pleasantly surprised by this. So how I apply it, I'm just going to take a powder brush here and I am just going to blot this all over my face. So this is such an interesting product because it's a weightless setting powder and it makes your foundation totally waterproof. When I saw it online, I was like, wow, totally waterproof. That's a big claim, and it says no matter what. So I was kind of like, okay, Urban Decay, that's, you know, it almost sounds too good to be true, you know? So, you know, they say you can cry, you can sweat, get wet, and your makeup will stay waterproof and flawless for up to 11 hours. I had it on, what's the longest I've had it on for? I think so far the longest I've had it on maybe, I want to say 9 to 10 hours. And did I get oily? Yes, because it's hot, it's humid. That's just the thing, but it wasn't, I could tell that I did have a lot of oil controlling properties, because when I wasn't using this product, I know the difference between when I have on a powder that is 100% oil control versus something that's not as oil controlling. So this is what my face is looking like. I will say this, I did a flash test with this and I had a flashback. So when I went back and I tried it again, just with the lightest touch, I still felt like I had a little bit of a flash. But here's the deal, if you know you're going to be doing maybe flash photography, I would either A, skip out on this product. This is a product that I would use for summertime. I'm going to work, out and about. I'm not going to be in any pictures or anything. Perfect, cool. Make sure my face stays on. But I would recommend that if you are going to use this, I would put this on and then maybe just go over it with the lightest amount of like a MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. That way you can throw some pigment back into your skin. So just be aware of that, because even when I went in with the lightest hand, I felt like it was kind of like, uh-oh girl, you got a little bit of a flash. So be aware of that. Next up, we're gonna go in with some brow product. I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Super Brow. If you guys have not seen my Battle of the Brows video, check that out. I basically did, you know, little tests between the ABH Dip Brow and the Kat Von D Super Stay. So if you wanna see how it performs and my thoughts on both of them, check that out. Spoiler alert, they're both good. So it's just gonna be a preference of what do you like better. I think I wanna go and buy Kat's brush that goes with it. I use the Ardell brush, and I feel like sometimes with this, I don't know, maybe just because of the consistency of this product, I feel like the more I go over it, sometimes the brush might grab the product and move it off of the desired area that I have it on. So got some brows on. Next up, let's go ahead and prime these eyes. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Caffeine. This also made it in my current favorites because I have been loving this so much. So with the primer potion, it doesn't straight up say that it is deemed waterproof. However, it does say get budge proof all day eyeshadow wear with Urban Decay primer potion, and I can kind of rock with that. I feel like whenever I use this, my eyeshadow stays on all day long. One of my boss babes, Heather, you were telling me that this dries your eyelids out, and I didn't think about that. First of all, shout out to Heather. I love her. She always leaves me these comments. She's so sweet. But I didn't think about that. I have super oily eyelids. So if you do not have super oily eyelids, this might be a little too drying for you. She said that it was drying on her, and when I was doing the video, I didn't think about that. So thank you, Heather, for pointing that out to me. I have oily lids. If you don't have oily lids, this might be a touch too dry on you. So I use the brush from the primer potion to put all over my lid. Then I just take a fluffy eyeshadow brush and blend it out. And to further blend it out, I'll take my fingers just to blend out the perimeter a little bit more. And this is super, super matte. So I'm just going to throw on some eyeshadow really quick, guys, and I'll be right back. Next up, we're going to throw on some eyeliner. This is new. This is Sephora collection, and I'm going to be doing a Sephora collection video too, just using makeup all from Sephora collection because I think Sephora collection is bomb. Someone requested it. So sorry I can't think of your name off the top of my head, but if I think of it, I will definitely shout you out. And I feel like Sephora collection is slept on, but this is a new pencil by them. This is their Glide On Waterproof Kohl. I have been using this. Is it waterproof? It does stay on, but I feel like no matter what gets on this little nook and cranny on the outside here, this little corner, no matter what I put there, always slides off, always gets greasy no matter what. So my little trick is I will put on my eyeliner, but I'll stop it right before it gets in that crease, just like right where my eye shuts, because of course we all make facial expressions. I'm talking to my clients all day, we blink, you know, and so when you move, I just feel like it gets kind of creasy and smudgy in there. So I will not put it all the way on this outer corner. And I don't want this too smoky, so I'm putting it right in the waterline. I feel like just no matter what, I'm oily. I can't, things just shift on me, you know? So I feel like if I start my eyeliner further in the waterline and it kind of smudges down, it's okay. But when I start going under the waterline, I'm just doomed because it's gonna be by my chin by the end of the day. All right, then I'm just gonna take my little brush here and make sure I don't have anything on that outer corner there. And then for the top, we're gonna use the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner. I love this. I've been using this since Christmas. It is bomb. So we're not gonna do a crazy wing liner because y'all know how I feel about that, but just like a nice little tight line. And this does really stay all day on me anyway. Then one trick that I do here for my little baby wing, again, I feel like when I put the liner right there in that little corner here where my eye closes at, it smudges. So when I draw my first line, I don't draw it in here. I hope I can make this make sense. Hold on, let me zoom you guys in. So it's just a very, very tiny line, but typically I feel like when I would do my wing liner, I would start in here, like right in this nook and cranny. Just go above it, leave your eye open, and draw a line just right above where the eye closes at. That way you don't have to worry about your wing liner kind of slipping and creasing all over you as well. So the last product that I have here is mascara. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. Probably the last person on the face of the earth to try it. As soon as the summertime comes and we get some heat, I instantly switch over to waterproof mascara, especially on my bottom lash line, just simply because my mascara always kind of touches my skin here, or my lashes touch my skin and it moves. I have oil here, so if a mascara is not waterproof, the oil is just going to make it smear. So it pained me to think of buying a high-end waterproof mascara. Typically I just do the Maybelline Great Lash and waterproof, keep it moving. However, I want to try Too Faced Better Than Sex. I do feel like when I put this mascara on, for some reason it does get all over the place, so just make sure you give it a moment to dry. I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if it's the mascara, I hadn't quite figured that out yet, but just a little FYI. Alright, so I just threw on a clear lip gloss. I have everything on my face here. It is 80 degrees today. It already rained. It's already humid. It's going to rain some more. Yeah, it's going to rain some more. And so we're going to test out this makeup, see how it just holds out through the day. It is currently 12:37. I have a client at 2 o'clock and I'm working all the way until I believe about 8:45. So I'm super busy today, but if I can remember to check in, I will check in. And I will for sure, of course, come back later on tonight and show you guys what I'm looking like. So let's go ahead and get ready to go to work. Alright, so it is currently 7:37. I have not blotted my face. This is what I'm looking like. This actually is not bad for no blotting. So I feel like all the waterproof products are holding up. So I will check in with you guys when I get home and I will not blot. Okay, so it is currently 9:23. This makeup has been on, I believe, since 12:30. So we'll say from 12:30 to 9:30. So as you can see, it's time for everything to come off. So really quick, when I got home, off topic, I got a package in the mail. Made a little order, so be on the lookout for that. But let's stay on task. Okay, I have not blotted my face all day long, and it wasn't because I was actively trying not to. When I realized, oh, I need to blot my face, was when I checked in with you guys at work. So I believe that was around 7 something. That's when I felt like, whoa, okay, we're looking shiny. We can fry eggs, we can fry chicken, we can do all sorts of things on my greasy skin right here. So I feel like from my makeup being on at 12:30 and going on throughout the day, and then making it to about 7, realizing, ooh, we're oily now, I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in. We're gonna talk about every product here. Ooh, that's close. Let's talk about the foundation first. This foundation is a very, very comfortable foundation to wear. I even think that this is a foundation that if you are dry skin, I think you can pull it off because it's not mattifying to the point where it sucks you dry and it makes your skin look kind of dry and patchy. I feel like it's a very creamy formula. It's super easy to blend. You can get a nice light coverage. If you want to beef it up to get full coverage, you can do so. Super easy to do. It wears well on the skin. It looks like skin. I think that's my favorite thing about it. I don't feel like I have a mask on. And then as far as it lasting throughout the day, I feel like this has lasted. I normally sometimes with other foundations, I feel like maybe they're kind of starting to break apart or spread, and that's just simply because once my oil does push through, it'll start to break the product down. This does not break down with oil, and I am the oiliest of the oiliest, so this is definitely approved, waterproof approved, sweat proof approved. This is bomb. What's next? Next up, concealer. Okay, so these Urban Decay All Nigher Concealers. These bad boys stay on. They are so pigmented. Now listen, when people talk about creasing, here's the deal. If you are a human being and you make facial expressions, you move your eyes, you blink, I don't care if you are 2, 12, 22, 62. No matter what is down here, it's going to crease. The only thing that is not going to crease is if you don't have any kind of product there. That's just science. That's just the way it rolls. However, is it horrible? No, none at all. I can just easily pat my finger and boom, that's just what it is. I feel like no matter what you put on, if you are a human being with a pulse, I feel like by the time you hit 8 hours, you're gonna see things shift. That's just how I feel. But as far as the pigmentation and everything goes, perfect, stays on. I feel like I'm still nice and concealed. I mean, if creasing for you is just kind of like a, oh my gosh, not gonna work, can't deal with it, skip it. But I do feel like when it's creasing on dry skin, that right there, that little minor detail, creasing on dry skin is definitely more noticeable, just simply because I feel like anything that's hydrating or oily, dewy, it kind of, you know, it just kind of hides it. But when you're already dry and you're getting some creasing, that doesn't look the best. But as far as I'm concerned, Urban Decay waterproof approved, sweat proof approved, bomb. Next up, what do we have? Oh, Kat Von D brows. You guys already know, if you saw my Battle of the Brows video, how I feel about this. This has been on all day long, has not shifted, has not budged, has not come off like I did in my video. Of course, now because I am oily, and if I move my hands across it just from the oil on my skin, yes, it's going to budge because oil does break down products. However, you want products that's going to take a long time to break down, and this here is legit bomb. I was testing out the Kat Von D Super Stay. I don't know if it's called Super Stay, but the Kat Von D brow pencil, but it felt very, very dry and tugged to me. That one's supposed to be waterproof too, so I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it. I don't know if maybe just the one on the display was just dried out, but I'll have to check back again when I go into Sephora. But this is bomb. Eyeshadow primer, Urban Decay All Nighter. Like I said earlier, this is matte. So again, if you have dry lids, this won't be, you won't like it. As far as I'm concerned, my eyeshadow is still on, still intact. Also, I feel like Urban Decay don't make the best eyeshadows. That's just my personal opinion. That's just from my experience. Do I think that all Urban Decay eyeshadows are bad? No. But are they my favorite? No. I think out of a long list and looking at palettes that I have, I feel like they do last me the least. So my eyeshadow is still on, and I'm gonna chop it up to this eyeshadow base here because I know for a fact that that smoky palette will not stay on my eyes without a primer. This is great. And then the last few products we have here are the eyeliners. So this is where things start to go south. The mascara, Born This Way mascara, is still on my eyes, it's still on the bottom lashes and the top. Whenever my lashes touch down on my skin here, it did not smudge. So that is A+ to me. And then last but not least, eyeliners. I feel like the Sephora eyeliner, I don't dislike it. I really, really wanted it to be waterproof, and I just feel like it's not. I feel like it does last in my waterline for a long time. However, I feel like it did start to migrate, although I didn't put anything in the corner. Hang on, let me zoom you guys in here. Let me get a little closer. Although I made sure not to put anything in the corner, I just feel like it slowly started to migrate and shift and kind of get a little creasy and messy. This is just my personal opinion. This is why I don't wear eyeliner on my waterline often, just simply because I feel like you go from looking cute to looking a hot mess, and I personally, just depending on the look that I'm doing, I personally prefer my eyeshadow looks to not have on any eyeliner. What I like to do is I'll put a white liner in just to brighten, but then I love to do the top liner. I'm not the biggest fan of having the dark liner under the bottom, but like I said, sometimes some looks call for it. So this for me is kind of like a meh, not wow. And then the Stila Stay All Day. So I had something interesting happen here too. I feel like my little baby wing is still there on my right eye, but I feel like it is very faint. It left me. But on this side, we're still strong. So I don't know if maybe I might have touched it with my finger, but that I did notice that when I got home. I was like, wait a second, we're missing one wing. I still think that the Stila Stay All Day is great. I also like the Sephora collection. Their waterproof felt tip, that's hard to say, is a really good one as well. So this for me is a win. I like it. This is what I've been using. Like I said, I don't wing out too often, but I do like to have just a little bit of dimension on the top of my lash line here with some liner. Oh, and then, duh, we forgot one main thing. Hello, the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. Now, do I think that this powder has any effects on my skin? Yes, absolutely, I do. And the reason being is because you guys know I love my Sacha Buttercup powder. I've been using this for what, 3-4 years now? It is bomb. However, I feel like my skin, this is the longest, especially with it being hot, humid, and rainy today. Keep those in mind. I feel like my skin stayed matte for a very long time. Like for me to make it to around 7 o'clock and realize, oh shoot, my face is greasy, that is a big, big deal. Because I mean, by 7:30, I'm off at 8:30. The day is practically over anyway. So who cares? The makeup's old, it's time to come off. So I think if you don't try anything for yourself from this whole video, definitely give this a try, especially if you are somebody that is oily skin. I think it is worth it. I think it is a dope product. So while I have you guys here, I am just going to blot my face just so that way you guys can see what I'm looking like. Ooh, Jesus, I was greasy. And I'm just so impressed because, like I said, this is the first time I have blotted my face today. And I'm an avid blotter. I feel like I blot at least 5 times a day. So if I truly had to, let me pull you guys in. You can tell a huge difference from when I started the video to what my skin's looking like now. So if I had to go somewhere after work and all I did was blot my face, I think that would be fairly suitable considering my makeup has been on practically all day long. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below your thoughts on any of the waterproof products that I've tried. Also, if you know of any waterproof products, please mention them down below because I'm always looking for new waterproof products, especially over the summer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.